only dealing with 84 degrees Fahrenheit today. And 4,705 miles on that odometer. It's a Monday, October 14th, 2024. About 4:55 in the PM. And welcome back to the Please Subscribe show. Just hit that little subscribe button for me. Just do it really quick. I'm always getting new subscribers. Keeps on going. So I really do appreciate it. Everyone that does subscribe, I'm really happy for you. Because this is a new type of show. Right now, we're going to head out to delivery. All right, first one, 6:11, arrival 9 minutes, 3.4 miles. Yesterday we did 46.8. Artwork. There's the Paradox Church. We love Jesus and we love Fort Worth. They're also very nice to the people that are displaced and help them find a place. That's what I've heard. They actually kind of help shelter people at times. They're a very nice church. Right off Belknap. There's a lot of people that sleep outside of the church too. The thing about churches is the people around them, whether they're millionaires or people that are penniless, they do have needs. And a lot of time the church does help people with that. Things are changing. Call it end times, call it what you will. But the church is not as hypocritical as you think. They're very giving people. They even help. They help everyone, even artists and stuff. There's the United Methodist Chapel. It's like a cathedral for Protestants. Oh, little doggy. Time ago, they'd bring their horses in for watering. They'd bring them right there, get some water from the well. See more and more people traveling on scooters. Here's some murals. flag mural. As the sun hits the horizon, we look forward to the better tomorrow. East Peach. You know, like the song by the President of the United States, Peaches. This looks a little too rough right here. Kind of reminds me in a way what they did with Brian Wells. They ambushed him. I don't know anything about him. He worked at Mamma Mia's for 10 years. His actual name was Brian Douglas Wells, known as one name they gave him. I don't really like to recall it. It was done on a Jordan Line vlog. But just he was a victim of this evil lady. She had a plan. She wanted to rob p.s.s Bank. They were from Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie, Pennsylvania is it's kind of an eerie place. But they ended up trapping him at a place where it was like a satellite dish or something like this, but it was kind of remote. And they put a collar bomb around his neck and instructions, kind of like a scavenger map, told him that he had to follow these instructions to get these pins to remove the collar bomb from his neck. They put it around his neck, like pretty much just like right here. And then they sent him off. And I think the first thing he did was the p.s.s Bank, and then he went through a McDonald's to get another clue. And then when the cops pulled him over and he told them that it was a collar bomb, which was stupid. Really what he should have done was gone to the nearest welder and have him just burn it right off of him. Because it didn't explode if you would have taken it off of him. It wasn't that complicated. It was just on a timer. That's what I heard. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it would have. If they would have welded through it, they would have burned him, but he would at least been free. But the police didn't really care, so they held him there until the bomb, exploded, and they called demolitions, and they did the same. I think all of those authority figures right there should have been charged with something because they didn't listen to him. He was just, a pizza delivery guy. So he died at the spot. They handcuffed him. They put him on this is video proof. They have it. It's on Netflix. It's called Evil Genius. They put him on the side of the road. They let him sit there until the timer went off. And then it martyred him. It's kind of the pizza delivery martyr. And all because a lady wanted money from p.s.s Bank. The documentary is called Evil Genius. but there's a story about it, and the derogatory name they use for him is misleading, because it makes him look like a criminal when he was just a victim of someone else's plan, of someone else's malice, because he was, naive enough to go out in the middle of this place in Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm in Texas right now. I'm just recalling the story. It represents something, stories represent something. He wasn't a perfect person, I don't think, but it just goes to show the evil behind what the lady wanted. She was greedy. She wanted power. So that's what her plan was, to receive the money that he had robbed, meaning he was a pawn to receive money. He was used as a way to receive money. It was a plan that she had come up with. And then she could get money off of him. It happens all the time in our country. In different ways, though. Some are more scheming than others. But they have these evil genius plans that they want to get money off people. Anyway, Brian Wells died on the side of the road because the cops at the time would not listen to what he was trying. He was trying, if you watch the video, he was trying to explain to him what was going on. Or he was trying to explain to the police officer who was held him there what was happening. He had a collar bomb around his neck. And it was on a timer. They still didn't care. Most likely, that police officer probably had military training, had seen something like it overseas. And they just left him there. Now, the explosion was not that great. Any idiot could have told you there wasn't that much explosive on the collar bomb, and how it destroyed him was it actually impacted part of his chest, imploding in part of his chest. In the autopsy, they had to remove his head. It didn't blow off his head. It wasn't that powerful of a bomb. But it's a horrible thing that happened. It's on Netflix, though. They made a lot of money off of it. But it's about the whole incident. This pizza delivery guy in Erie, Pennsylvania, this old lady that's like a schizophrenic that came up with a plan to use him as a pawn to rob a bank, and they gave him like this cane or something. It really is hard to believe that actually happened. It was like a sequel to Saw, some kind of cane that was also like a gun or something. It looked really clumsy. It's just the weirdest thing. There was another guy behind it, though, that actually built the collar bomb. I can't think of his name. But a lot of them got prison time. I think that lady probably died in prison. All right, 6:45 arrival, 3 minutes, 1.2 miles. I don't know a whole lot about Brian Douglas Wells from Erie, Pennsylvania before the collar bomb took his life, but it says that he was a mechanic. I don't know what type of mechanic. I don't know if he was an auto mechanic or if he worked on airplanes. I don't know the level of his intelligence, but he probably couldn't be a mechanic anymore. Something happened. Maybe he got hurt. Maybe he just got tired of being a mechanic, or maybe he lost his job as a mechanic. Regardless, he fell into the pizza delivery business. And it looked like he was pretty happy about it. They said that he used to dance a lot. He'd dance in the kitchen. They'd tell him to go do something. He'd do a little dance. He probably did a little dance right before they strapped the collar bomb around his neck. It actually looked like a big handcuff and went around his neck. Supposedly, from the other people that did it to him, he was pretty terrified because they held him down. And he didn't dance anymore. He looked pretty nervous after that. Although, when he was at the bank, you see him take a lollipop from the a little bowl for lollipops at the bank before he leaves with the cash. And he got what the lady wanted, but he couldn't follow all the clues because the law wouldn't let him at that point. Don't know what would have happened after they removed the collar bomb from him if it succeeded. I don't know if they would have given him a cut and let him free. Who knows? But like I said, I would have went to the nearest welder and had it welded off of me, regardless of the burns. There was probably a few welders in town, maybe one or two, I don't know. There may not have been, though, I don't know. But it was a serious situation. It did kill him. It's nothing that funny. I don't know if Hollywood's going to take advantage and make a narrative movie out of it. They did make a documentary. I don't know if they really need to on a story like that. Passing the 4 horsemen. You can't see the horsemen. You can only see the horses. But that's what that kind of represents to me. I don't know what else the cemetery was thinking when they put the 4 horses there. They spent a pretty penny. Spent a pretty penny. There we go. I did my tongue twisters. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Susie sells seashells by the seashore. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. New York, unique. Okay. Be able to get right in here. I always think it's that house with the witch hats. It's actually this one. Now, I don't know anything. There's a skeleton right there on the, barely can see it. I don't know anything about Erie, Pennsylvania. It can get cold. But I think the thing about Brian Douglas Wells, before he was martyred, because I consider him a pizza delivery martyr, or the martyrdom pizza delivery guy. I mean, he was a martyr for all pizza delivery people. But the one thing that I think he probably didn't have, being a mechanic, was probably connections and relationships with people, you know, face to face a whole lot. It depends, you know, he might have had some if he was an auto mechanic, but he didn't say that, he just said mechanic. He did work at Mama Mia's for 10 years, so he probably learned that there is kind of happiness in relationships with other people. So he probably found that and had a good 10 years, you know, of dropping off pizzas to people. You know, he found relationships and meeting people, and they're happy to have their food, and because people are, you know, they're grateful for getting their food from the delivery person. And he probably saw something special in doing that, so he stayed with it for 10 years. And it's cold up there in Pennsylvania, let me tell you, right by Erie Lake. But he must have figured something out, some kind of specialty. And then bam, evil genius jumps up, puts a collar bomb on his neck, sends him out to this weird scavenger hunt, and boom, he's dead by the side of the road, handcuffed. Isn't that crazy? You never know. But that's what I think about a lot of times when I see pizza delivery going on. It's just how I am.